Highlights from the Ghana Premier League. Do not forget that today we would have Accra Hearts of Oak take on Boffa Kwatano at Sugakope, the Wafa Sports Complex. Let me start with you, Muhammad Shaibu, on the Ghana Premier League. We just watched highlights from two games. Nations being held by Mediama to a 1-0 drawn game, and Asante Kotoko suffering another defeat to Kaila United.
Asante Kotoko suffering another defeat. Last week, after they won against Bibiani Gold Stars, and then leaders Samates dropped point shockingly at home to Nations FC. The hope was that Asante Kotoko were back in the race, and then there was a possibility that they could go top this week with a win against Kaila United. The leaders Samates, they lost, but then Asante Kotoko did not manage to get the maximum results. This is the second time they've lost to Kaila United this season, and in just a month, they lost to them in the FA Cup, and this time around they've lost to them again in the league. It's a big deal for Kaila United because they've been struggling this season. And then for me, I felt that the reason why Kaila United are struggling this season is because of the movement of the club, moving the club away from the Western region to the Northern region. At the Tamale Sports Stadium, they haven't made that place a dancing ground for themselves, and then it's been very difficult for them. If you can't pick points at home, then it's going to be difficult for you to pick points away from home. But since moving to a new pitch, Kaila United have done so well. They beat Legon Cities by 2 goals to 0 in the previous game before beating Asante Kotoko by 1 goal to 0. So for me, I think the home form is going to be important for Kaila United if they are going to stay in the league. For Asante Kotoko, I think they need to go back to the drawing board. There's a lot of things that the manager should be looking up to. The personnel that he puts on the field, is he okay? If things are okay that way, or does he have to make changes? I don't think I agree with some of the personnel that he put up to play in the game. For instance, I'm not happy seeing Justice Billy, who we all know to be one of the best midfielders in the Ghana Premier League, playing as a right back. I would like to see him being played in midfield, and then I would like to see Kote, who was one of the best right backs in the Premier League last season, come back and then play in that right back position. So for Asante Kotoko, I think it's a matter of them trying to resolve the issues that they have at the club, especially their away form. Their away form has been nothing to write home about. When Ugum won the league in his first season at the club, the reason why he was able to achieve that feat was because of his away form. Because that season, he traveled away to beat Mediama, he defeated Wafa away from home. All these results went his way. So if he wants to win the league once again, I think he has to work on his away form. You look at them this season, the away form has been nothing to write home about. They lost away to Samates. They lost recently to Kaila United against Nations FC. They managed to get a draw. So for Asante Kotoko, I think they need to work on their away form. Their home form too as well. It's been bad, rough. It's been rough, and then it's been good at some point in time. So for me, Kotoko will need to work on their home form and again on their away form, especially their away form, because they won the league 3 years ago because of their away form. For Mediama, it hasn't been well for them, and I feel part of it has been due to their participation in the CAF Champions League, because I don't think they have that huge side that is able to continue, that is able to play in the two competitions. They played in the CAF Champions League. Them not being able to go past the group stages, for me, like I said, them being in the group stage alone is a good thing for them, and it's something that they should build on. I was hoping that they will be able to win the league once again and then go back to Africa and then right the wrongs from what they did last season. But then it looks like it's not going to be so for them. After this week's results, the league is now blown out. Every team that is in the top 8 can win the league title, even Accra House of Oak. If House of Oak win today against Baffa Kwatano, they are only 5 points behind Samates, and then that puts them in the conversation of win the league title. So for me, the league title is going to go down to the wire, like the English Premier League. For the bottom 2, it's also going down to the wire. We saw Out of Lions win over the weekend. We saw Carolina United win over the weekend. Dreams FC picked a miraculous 2-0 win against Instructor. So it's going to be a very, very tough league title.
Okay. Mama says it's going to be a very tough league title race, and not too sure if Kwesini Makoje and Fyodro shares same thought as far as the GPL title race is concerned.
Yeah, for me, I think the title race is still wide open. I mean, it's not over. I mean, if you look at Asante Kotoko, I think their issue has rather been at home, if you look at the league table, because they are still the best away team in the league. They've won the most away games in the league this season, if I'm not wrong. I think they've won 4 games away from home. So for me, if you look at their home form, they've been able to pick only 18 points from 9 games, which is very poor. If you look at Guyana, they've picked about 29 points from 11 home games. You get it. So I think Kotoko will need to, in as much as in recent times, their away form has been very poor. I think they started the season playing well away from home, and then rather not doing well. And right now, I think it's turning. So for Kotoko, I think they'll need to put their acts together. But I see them having a very difficult time because if you look at their next 3 away fixtures, is against Adriana, Bechem United, and Dreams FC. These are 3 very difficult fixtures or away trips for any team in the Premier League. So if Kotoko, being the best away team in the league as it stands, will want to challenge for the title, I feel like these are fixtures where they will need to win. Because as we are looking at the table, these are also against teams who are trying to get to the top. They also have a home game in between that against Unity FC. So I feel like the upcoming matches should show us more about a team who is willing to challenge for the title. I mean, Kotoko, as big as they are the biggest team in Ghana, we don't condone going years without Premier League title. A certain club went almost 10 years without winning the league. They felt it was cool. But for Kotoko, I think even if we go 3 years without winning the league title, I think it's a big disappointment. And if you look at materials, at the beginning of every season, Kotoko is always bringing in the stars, as in buying team players from other teams and all that. But it becomes difficult, and I think they should step up because playing against Kerala, you played against Kerala, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, on a very bad pitch in Tamale, and you lost the game. I felt like that was FA Cup. The dynamics were different. And you meet this same team again, this time around, on a newly constructed green AstroTurf pitch, and you lose again. So for me, I think Kotoko need to step up, and as I call them the biggest club in Ghana, I think these are some of the matches where at least a draw, because it's difficult to win away games in the Ghana League.
Wrap up the Ghana Premier League for us, so we turn the attention to the African Games. I just saw the medal table, and I am overwhelmed by the exploits of the Egyptians, and I am underwhelmed by the abysmal performance of Ghana so far at the African Games. But let's wrap up the Ghana Premier League, and then we can take a look at the African Games.
There were a lot of interesting games Saturday and then yesterday, and today House of Folk will be playing Bafokatan at Soka Kope. I think that Kotoko, for me, they've dropped. The games that they played, the last 5 games before the end of the first one, Kotoko is not doing well. Yes, one may mention Sharif Mohammed, the midfielder who got injured through accident. And of course, how the coach is also arranging the personnel this time on the field of play. Richmond Lamptey, his commitment level, you ask whether he's going to renew his contract or not and all that. But I believe that you give credit to Kerala United. This is the second time they've beaten Kotoko within a month. That is Abukari Damba. And watching the game, I think that the goalkeeper for Kerala United, no wonder he won the MVP. He played a very good game. He made brilliant saves from the strikes from Kotoko's attackers, and I think that Kotoko needs to improve. Their next game is on Wednesday against Accra Lions at the Bavaria Sports Stadium. And Lions were able to beat Berekum Chelsea by 5-0. And for me, that was a huge margin. I was in Bebiani on Wednesday to witness the 6-match celebration game between Gold Stars and then Berekum Chelsea. And I felt that Chelsea should have gone straight away from Bebiani to Soka Kope. But they went back to Berekum before going to Soka Kope. So, of course, I mean, fatigue was in there, but you didn't take anything away from Accra Lions. I mean, they played very well and they won that game. And for me, I think that the league leaders, Samates, they've lost 2 games on the row. They lost to Nations at home. That was their first loss this season. And of course, in the 3rd minute goal scored by Joseph Nameful of Bechem United, they couldn't get the 3 points. I mean, they lost that game too. And I'm sure there's going to be a meeting in Samaboy this morning. But I believe that they are still on top of the league. Though Adriana won their game against Legon Cities by a lone goal, courtesy Bright J's goal. I mean, the difference is two points. But though Adriana has a game in hand against Mediama, and of course, Nation drew with Mediama yesterday. We all saw that game yesterday, and it was a very good game. And I think that Mediama, they've learned something out of the African campaign that they went. They were matured. Yesterday, I saw them controlling the game And for me, I think that nations have themselves to blame. They had the opportunities that they could have buried Mediama at least for the second goal, which they missed. But the game itself, I think that it was a very good game from both teams. No wonder the game ended 1-1. And for me, I think that Dreams FC have done so well. A brace from Ejenim Boateng, that stopped Maswa Kunedu losing 2 straight home games against House of Folk and, of course, against Dreams FC. And for me, it was a huge performance from Karizito's Dreams FC. Excellent display. Olympics had a biggest defeat this season when they went to Bebiani and they lost by 3 goals. Benjamin Asare, what's the name? Clean sheets was cancelled. I mean, 11 or so, 12 clean sheets. He was beating 3 goals. And I think Glasson Awaku was the man in midfield. And then I think that Frimpong mastermind a system that made Glasson not to play. And of course, Emmanuel Entry. So for me, 3 goals from Bebiani Gold Stars. I was not surprised because I watched them on Wednesday in the game that they played against Bekum Chelsea. And yesterday I was at Abrankesi too. And for me, I think that the Ghana Premier League, as you said, it's never going to be easy at the top. But looking at it down there, I think Heart of Lions did very well. Late 2 goals from Bashir Fort Boys to be able to beat RTU, struggling RTU at the Pando Sports Stadium. It was a very good game. So for me, I think that the league has been so good. But today at 3 p.m. at Sogakope, House of Folk, the Ouattara ball, they'll be playing Bafokwa Tano, who has not won a game away from home. 9 games, they've drew 7 and they've lost 2. And so for me, it's going to be a difficult game. In the first round, they beat House of Folk by a lone goal, and that goal was scored by their captains, Saka Dauda. I mean, that brilliant move that he went through the House of Folk defense. Kofi Agbesima, I think his second game for House of Folk, he struggled. But today he's the captain for House of Folk. So we are going to see how they are going to play House of Folk. Though after the exit of Frimpong Manson, they've struggled to play and even at home. But let's see what happens at Sogakope, where Ouattara has maintained his first game against RTU. He won. He maintained the same setup to play Maswala and won. And he said consistency, probably he's going to maintain the same setup. He's calling for House of Folk supporters to be at the Sogakope to support the team. So for me, I think that they stand a chance of making it 3 on the row. House of Folk.
When I saw that Kofi Agbesima has been made the Heart of Folk captain, I said, yes, this is Coach Iben's Kofi Agbesima.
No, you see, Michael,
you spoke a lot about him last season.
Oh, no, he's an experienced player. He's played Bechem for close to 6 years. I mean, under Bismarck Kobe, first coaching of Bechem before Mingle took over and all that. He's an experienced player. And of course, this is a new manager who has come in and he felt that Nuruddin Aziz, the former House of Folk captain, probably he prefers Kofi Agbesima. Fine, but it depends whether the player body also accept
enough
that.
of the
So
Premier League.
fine.
Let's start base with the lower tier league, Division 1, and bring to our viewers the happenings there in the 3 zones of the Division 1 league. So let's do a recap of the results from game week 16. And in Zone 1A, Tamale City they secured a 1-0 victory over Tetiman Heroes Sporting Club. Steadfast 3, Mana FC 0. Wapires lost to Victory Club Warriors, and that allows for Victory Club Warriors to move top of the table in Zone 1A. Northern City recorded a 3-0 victory over Wasunta Sporting Club. In Zone 1B, 11 Wonders beat BH United Apostles of Power Soccer by 3-1. Mighty Royals 3, Tetiman Liberty Youth 1. The BB United, yes, the BB United is one of my teams in Zone 1, and they thrashed Bafo Soccer Academy by 4-0. Bekum City pipped Young Apostles by a lone goal. In Zone 2, New Edubiase, and the standings in Zone 2 or the title race is, or can be likened to the title race in the English Premier League. And New Edubiase recorded a 1-0 victory over Young Red Bull Football Club. Nzima Kotoko pipped Park Academy by a lone goal. Basiki Holy Stars have moved top of the table again after losing that spot to Sky FC. Basiki Holy Stars recorded a 2-0 victory over Asikem. Sky lost at home to Rose Park by 2-1. Yes, very surprising results. Serhi All Stars and Mysterious Ebusian Dwarfs settled for a goalless drawn game with Elmina Sharks. Nana Andy Sinasen, coach of Elmina Sharks, masterminding them to a 2-0 victory over Swedro All Blacks. Future Stars 2, Soccer Intellectuals 0, and Venomous Vipers lost at home to Alhaji Karim Gruses King Faisal 2-1 the game ended. And in Zone 3, highly regarded as the Premier League annex, Atram Divisa doing so well after the break and beat Ankoti United by 2-0. Accra Athletic and FC Nanya settled for a goalless drawn game, with 5-star Vision FC thrashing Akachi All-Stars by 5-1 at the Ni Okraku, the second sports complex in Tema Newtown. Koforidua Sempefi lost at home, and Oko United have won 2 games on the road, 2 straight games on the road. Nana Kwame Dankwa,
Greater Accra
Regional Circles chairman for Asante Kotoko, and he's a first vice chairman for the National Circles, and he's a match commissioner, and he's CEO of Oko United.
That's Ghana football for you.
Nana Kwame Dankwa.
Ghana football for you.
Nana Kwame Dankwa. Okay, they beat Koforidua Sempefi by 3-2, and Kings Palace and Akosombo beat Still Believe by 2-0. Kotoku Royals won, Susubribi 0. Hohoi United scored 2 late goals to record a 2-0 victory over Home Stars at the Hohoi Sports Complex, and Nagod FC also recorded a 2-0 victory over Golden Cake to keep hold of the second spot. I've smart all through. In fact, mentioning the results, I've smart all through.